I want to talk to you about how to manage your crisis, how to not waste your crisis. What's going on in the world today is unprecedented. You know, a lot of times we look at things and we didn't prepare for what's happening. A lot of us have not been prepared for what is going on. Nothing could have prepared us effectively for what's going on. And so the tendency right now will be to be in reaction mode, and everybody's going to be on reaction mode. And if you've noticed, everybody is afraid and everyone is concerned about what do I need to do. That's why there's hoarding. That's why there's all this, fear, panic, and worry. And so everyone is in a place where we have no direction. And in times like this, when there's no direction, it's very important that we find clarity. And that's what I'm here to do. I want to go ahead and bring clarity. I want to share with you some things that will inspire you. I was talking to a friend of mine a while back, and as we were talking, there was a joke that she said that, hey, her parents told her that when you have a good throw up, don't waste that throw up. And I was thinking about that today, and I was thinking about the fact that we are in a situation that nothing could have prepared us for. We're in a crisis that nothing of unprecedented magnitude, and nothing could have prepared us for what is happening. And the interesting thing is that this is not just affecting people locally, it's affecting the entire world. So whereas in the past, something would happen within a region and people would seek help outside, we have an issue that is impacted the whole globe. And this is why right now it's important to understand that this is it's of global magnitude. It's of global magnitude, and so everyone is impacted, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're wealthy, whether you're a celebrity. Everybody is impacted. And so today I want to talk to you, and I want to share some light and give some insight into what you could possibly do to begin to take advantage of the season that you're in. Number one, I want to say that unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures, and unprecedented times call for unconventional means. We cannot continue to operate the way we've been operating. I know a lot of people are waiting for this to pass and so they can go back to the norm. But I want to talk to you and just let you know right now that there is going to be a new norm. We're not going to go back to how things have been. We're never going to go back to, just like when 9/11 happened, we're not going to go back to the same norm. It's going to be different. And so because it's going to be different, what we need to do is to be able to prepare for the times that we're in, is to be able to know what must I do, because unprecedented times requires unconventional means. We cannot go back to doing things the way they've always been done, because if we do things the way they've always been done, we are going to get what we've always got. But right now, what you have to do is you have to take initiative and you have to start to look at things differently. Now, in the book, The Tales of Two Cities, there's a statement that there's a statement there that I like, that it says, it was the best of times, but also the worst of times. And I want to switch that a little bit. And I want to say it could be the worst of times, but it also the best of times. If what matters, how you make this the best season in your life, will be determined by how you are willing to go ahead and respond to this situation. It'll be determined by how you are going to respond to this situation. I want you to take a minute and invite somebody if you can. We're going to share some important things here, and it's going to be really prudent for them to be logged in. So crisis is a part of life. It is said that you're either coming into a crisis, going through a crisis, or coming out of a crisis. I want to say that again. In life, crisis is a part of life. You're either coming into a crisis, going through a crisis, or actually coming out of a crisis. And a lot of us find ourselves in this place where we are actually going through a crisis. And so we are seeking for means and ways to resolve the crisis. And a lot of us are moving more to reaction mechanism instead of responding. And when crisis happens, the most effective way to deal with crisis is not to react. reacting is the most basic minimalist way of dealing with life, where you react to things happen to you and you react to this. But I want to encourage you that in the season that we are in, we are not going to react, but we're going to find a way to respond to the issue. If we find a way to respond to the issue, we can mitigate the damages and find a better way to position ourselves for the next chapter of our lives. I want you to know that whenever something happens, it might look like it's something happening for worse, but it actually could be something that's happening for good. A lot of us wants the benefit of change, but we don't want the process of change. And what is happening right now, we are living in a time when there's a shift and the change is happening and there's a convergence that's happening. When a convergence happens, there's a falling out of some things so that some things can come into place. I can assure you right now that where we are moving towards, things are never going to be the same again. Things are going to shift. And because things are going to shift, those who prepare in times like this are going to be better equipped to manage and to deal with the crisis and to deal with the shift of what is happening. And so I want to go ahead and just ask you to invite somebody and share this with a friend, because I want to give you some tools. I want to give you some tools that will help you navigate through a crisis. Now, you have to come into acceptance that you have no control of this. I think a lot of people are frustrated because they're trying to find control. They're trying to bring control to a situation that they have no capacity to bring control to. They're trying to find solution and they're trying to find, what do I do? How do I respond to this? And so there's no clarity as to what exactly to do. And so in moments like this, you find that people are going to be seeking to find control and trying to find, how do I get this? But I need you to understand that there are things that are out of your control. There are things that are out of your control. And the sooner you accept that this thing is out of your control, then you'll be able to first begin to navigate and have peace in where you are. There's a serenity prayer. I think some of you know this serenity prayer. And the serenity prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. And right now, I want to say that again. The serenity prayer says that God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. And not only courage, but you're going to have to need wisdom to know how to navigate through these times. And so you're going to need wisdom over fear. You're going to need wisdom over panic. You're going to need wisdom over the fact that you've been unemployed. You don't know where income is coming. You're going to need direction. You're going to need all those things. But the first thing I want you to know is that this is out of your control. You couldn't have prepared yourself effectively. You couldn't have all the tools you need to navigate through this. This is crisis, and crisis is a part of life. So a lot of people have been asking the question, why? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening? If God is so good, why is this happening? Now, let me tell you, life is cyclical, and there are things that will happen. There are phases and seasons that will come into our lives in different seasons. There's shift that will happen, and shift happens. And so when these things happen, the best thing for us to do is to be prepared. And that's what I want to do today. I feel the responsibility and the need to want to prepare you, to want to encourage you, to want to position you effectively, so you can know how to effectively navigate through this. You don't want to waste your crisis. A crisis in this, and there are people who are going to be literally taken out of business and shut down, because while a crisis is happening, there is also opportunity for some. And that's what I want us to talk. How do we prepare ourselves? How do we get ready? So the question is not why. A lot of times when crisis happens in our lives, the position we take is why. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I've realized that the why questions cannot be answered on this side of eternity. All the why questions, we can have all the why questions, and it's okay to have all the why questions, but unfortunately, you cannot get all the answers to all the why questions. But I have a better way that you can look at this situation. I want to give you one question that you need to be asking right now, one question that is going to effectively help you position yourself in the season that we are coming into. And that question is not, why is this happening? That question is actually, what must I do? What must I do? Instead of asking, why is this happening? I want you to ask yourself, what must I do? Now, a crisis has happened. A situation has happened. I've lost my job. All these things are going on. People are in fear. People are in panic. And the tendency, the animalistic tendency is to be afraid, to be in panic, to be in crisis mode, to say, to join the bandwagon. That's why everybody's going to buy tissue paper and buying paper towels. And they don't have a specific reason why they are actually buying that, but it's because we want to jump in and do what everybody is doing. But unprecedented time call for unconventional means. I want you to hear me. Unprecedented times calls for unconventional means. I want to give you just a few things. I want to encourage you, and I want to give you a few things that will help you in the seasons that we are living in. Number one is precaution. I want you, the first P I want to talk to you about is precaution. Yes, there are rules that has been issued. There are ordinances, and there is a stay-home ordinance, and people have been asked to stay home, and all these things are happening. But yes, I understand that, and everybody understands that, and it's unfortunate in 2020 we were thinking that by now we would be dealing with flying cars, but we actually have to remind people how to wash their hands and how to use sanitizer. So the first thing I want to encourage you with is that you're going to have to take precaution. You are going to have to take precaution. Take precautions for your family. Take precautions to make sure that you're keeping a clean environment. Take precautions to make sure that you're social distancing, because these are policies that have been put in place that are going to help you to be able to stay safe. And now that we got that out of the way, I want to go to number two. Number two thing I want to share with you is that in this unprecedented time, you are going to need to keep a positive attitude. I want you to hear me. In this unprecedented time, you are going to have to keep a positive attitude. Why? Because there's a lot happening. A lot of people are discouraged. A lot of people are hopeless. A lot of people are dealing with death and gloom. A lot of different discouragement. When you turn on the news, there's just like discouragement. There's a lot of discouragement coming in. But what you're going to have to do is that you're going to have to protect your mind, and you're going to have to protect your heart from what comes into your heart. Now, let me share something. There's a scripture that says that guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. So when you guard your heart, you're protecting your heart from receiving. You see, fear can come. Fear, you're a human being, and because you are in a body, see, you are a spirit, you have a soul, you live in a body, and because you're in a body, your body is going to respond in the natural way. It has to respond in the natural way because that's how your body has been created. It's a mechanism that God put in there for you to be able to respond to certain things, so that when you touch something and it's hot, you can know that that something is hot, and you can be able to not get burned. But so what's going to happen is that there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of statistics. There's a lot of when you look at the stock market, they're saying it's never been like this since the Great Recession, since 1933. And you read everywhere you listen. Today you listen, the statistics, there is over now the US today is actually the number one leading with the coronavirus infection. And so everywhere you're listening, there's a lot that's going out that is not bringing hope. Can we agree on that? There's a lot that's not bringing hope. So what do we need to do in times like this? How do we manage things in times like this? We got to stay positive. We got to speak positive things to ourselves. We got to create the environment. Now you are determines what grows inside of you. Where you are, if you are going to create an environment of doubt and fear, then fear will begin to grow inside of you. If you create an environment of panic and worry will start to grow out of you. Listen, your body is going to respond in fear, but I want you to hear me. It can respond in fear. You can have fear in your head and in your mind because you're a spirit, soul, in a body. So you can have fear in your thoughts. You can have fear in your mind. But one thing I want to challenge you with, don't allow the fear to get into your heart. Now, it's very important that you don't allow the fear to move from the mental ascent to get to your heart, because when fear gets into your heart, the Bible says that out of the heart flows the issue of life. So when fear is in your heart, it will begin to flow forth and it will begin to bring forth the things that you fear. Now, remember, Job said, the thing I feared the most has come upon me. So here's the thing. You can have fear in your mind. You can have reactions of worry, but I need you to understand, don't let that get into your spirit, because if it gets into your spirit, it will begin to manifest as your natural reality. So you have to understand that, yes, there's a crisis. Yes, it's of gigantic proportion. Yes, it's affecting everybody, but you have to tell yourself, see, your subconscious mind does not identify between what is true and what is not. It does not identify what is real and what is not. It's the subconscious mind is like the earth, is like the ground. Whatever you plant in it, that's what it produces. If I plant wrong seeds, if I plant weeds, weeds will come out of it. But if I plant the right seed, the right seeds will begin to grow. So I want you to be very careful to protect and to really guard and safeguard your attitude. Have a positive attitude. Jeff Keller said that attitude is everything. I was looking through a quote that I saw by the CEO of Google, and I wanted to share this with you. And it says that a person who is happy is not because everything is right in his life. He's happy because his attitude towards everything in his life is right. And so right now, I want to encourage you. If there is one thing that I want you to protect, is to have the right attitude. Protect having the right attitude. Protect seeing things differently. Protect and maintain your focus so that you don't get sidetracked. Because when this crisis happens, they try to move us out of the right thing. They try to move us out of focusing on the right thing. What we intentionally pursue, what we intentionally focus, we begin to manifest in the natural. So if you're focusing on fear, if you're focusing on uncertainty, if you're focusing on, I don't know how I'll make it, it will begin to become a reality, because as a man thinketh, where in his heart. And that's why we have to safeguard our heart from the contamination of what we are receiving with our eyes gate and our ears gate and what we are hearing. Because as you hear these things and you allow them to get into your spirit and into your heart, they will contaminate your heart. Now, here is something else I want you to do. I want you to shift your focus. I want you to shift your focus, because if you focus on the pain, you will continue to suffer. But if you focus on the lesson, you will continue to grow. I want you to share. Just take a minute. Would you share this with somebody? Please help me share this with somebody. I think that what we are sharing here is vital and is going to help a lot of people. And I want you to, and I'm talking about the 5 things that you need to do. Number 1, we're going to take precautions. Number 2, we're going to protect protect a positive attitude. We're going to maintain a positive attitude, because if we focus on the pain, if we focus on the crisis, if we focus on all that's going on, we will continue to suffer. But right now, we need to shift our focus. We need to go back and shift our focus and build and shift how we're seeing things. Let's move back from looking at the pain and meditating on the crisis, because the more you focus on the crisis, the more you focus on the pain, the more it becomes a reality right now in your life. And so if you're going to have to be happy and to enjoy happiness in the moments that we're going through, you just have to protect the positive attitude. Listen, I understand it's easy for people to say, it's easy for you to say that. It's easy for you to say that you've not lost your job. It's easy for you to say that you don't have someone who's gone through the virus and who's lost their lives. And so the reality is, we are all impacted in one way or another. You could have lost your job. You could be filing for unemployment. You could be worried, not knowing where food will come. You could be going through depression, because this isolation for some people is causing them to actually face the reality of the life they're living in, really coming into terms to the understanding that, you know what, my life is not what I expected it to be. My life is not the way I wanted it to be. So a lot of people are going through depression. A lot of people are going through discouragement. And that's why I'm here. I want to encourage you. I want to breathe life. I want to bring hope. I want to tell you. So we're looking at how not to waste your crisis. And in order for us not to waste our crisis, we have to take what is meant for worse, what the enemy has meant for worse, the crisis that is meant for worse, and turn it for good. In every crisis, there is opportunity, and we have to find the opportunity. We have to see things with a different set of eyes. You see, your attitude is actually your frame of reference. Your attitude is a reflection of how you perceive things and how you look at things. And at this point in time, we'll look at things as bleak. We'll look at things as discouraging. We'll look at things as frustrating, as uncertain, as complex, and not knowing what to do. But even while you're going through that, I want to encourage you to have a positive attitude, to have an expectation. Now, let me say something. It is important to have an expectation that is driven by faith, that is driven by hope. See, whenever a crisis happens, the enemy wants to take your hope. The enemy wants to make your hope deferred. And there's something. When others say there's a down curse, you will say there's an uplifting. Because whenever a repositioning happens, whenever a convergence happens, whenever things are falling apart, they are actually coming into place in some areas. And I want you to know that things are coming into place for your life. I want to encourage you and let you know that things are coming into place. Yes, they could be falling apart everywhere, but they are actually coming into place for you. This is the moment for you. This is your season. This is your hour. You have been prepared for such a time as this. Now, a lot of times we go through life and we go through crisis, we go through challenges, we go through things, and we don't understand why. I don't understand why I had to go through that pain. I don't understand why I had to be frustrated over there. I don't understand why I had to, and you don't understand why. And we've dealt with that. You cannot understand fully why. But the reality is, what must you do? That's the right question you should be asking yourself. In the midst of a crisis, what must I do? And that's what I want to answer for you. Because if you know what to do, then you can cause things to shift in your favor. And this is the season of listening for instructions so you can know what to do. And I'm telling you, the truth of the matter is, the question is not, why is this happening? The question you should be asking is, what must you do? Number one, we've said you need to take precautions. Do everything you've been asked to do. And while we're talking about precautions, I want to encourage each one to make sure that you're stepping up your immune system, increasing your vitamin C intake, increasing making sure that you are taking your probiotics if you can, to make sure that you're increasing your immune system. Make sure that you are taking hot fluids, and keeping your of course, keeping your hands clean and all that. But I want to encourage you that those are precautions. You still have to do that. So that's number one. You have to take precaution. Number two, you have to keep a positive attitude. You have to keep a positive attitude. There's negativity everywhere. There's discouragement. There's hopelessness. There's a lot of discouragement coming in. But I want you to keep a positive. Number three thing that I want to encourage you is that you have to plan. You have to plan. This is not the time for you to sit down and watch things just happening. This is a time to prepare. You see, when they issued the decree and the stay home, the ordinances, and they say you got to stay home, you got to do this, that created that allowed you time to be able to really be in tune with yourself, to get back to where you need to be, to reset, to go back and reset, to say, hey, I don't have to be out there working. I don't have to be driving unless you're working from home. And those of you who had to commute and those who don't, now you have more time to yourself. So what are you going to do with the time? Now you can spend the time worrying. You can spend the time panicking. You can just spend the time in worry. But I want to tell you something. This is a time for you to actually prepare. So when seasons like this come and we are pulled aside and we are pulled into isolation and we are brought into these places where we have to focus and we have to reevaluate and we have to restructure, this is the season for you to actually prepare. Prepare what? Prepare for the person that you're supposed to be. Prepare, build yourself up, start to develop the skill that you needed to. Don't allow the distraction to move you away from the things that you need to be focusing on. I'm telling you right now, don't allow the pain and the challenges, the struggles to move you away to where you get into this cave of fear and panic and depression. Yes, it's okay to face the reality, but we cannot allow it to get into our spirit. We cannot allow it to descend into our heart, because the moment it descends into our heart, out of the abundance of the heart, we begin to speak. And as we speak, we begin to manifest, because death and life is in the power of the tongue. So as you're manifesting, what you're saying is going to be manifested by what is in your heart. So that's why I want to bring you to attention on why it's important for you to have this to walk in faith in this season and to begin to speak things that you're anticipating to see happen. So as you prepare, you're not preparing because you know what will happen, but you're preparing because you're in expectation of what is going to happen. That something good is going to happen. Something great is coming your way. Listen, you can expect fear, doubt, unbelief, and all the negative things to come to you, and they will manifest. But you can also use your energy to create the good that you want to see happen. I want you to prepare. I want you to plan. I want you to plan as though this is just a reset for what is about to happen. I want you to plan as though something supernatural, something big is going to happen on your behalf. I want you to plan as though the time you are waiting for is now. I want you to plan as though you are actually waiting for that appointment that you've been waiting for. I want you to plan as though you're getting ready for that platform that you've been looking to step into. I want you to share this with somebody right now, because we're talking about some important things that will help us navigate through the times that we're in. So number one, precaution. Number two, keep a positive attitude. Number three, you're going to have to plan. And number four thing I want you to protect is the picture of your future. I want you to protect the picture of your future. Why is this important? Is that one thing you have to keep before you is the potential future, the desired future that you want to see manifest in your life. Listen, if you focus on the wrong things begin to manifest in your life. But if you put the picture of your desired future, why is it important to put a vision ahead of you? If you read, there's a scripture that says that write your vision and make it plain. and make it plain, and make it plain. Why? You want to see it. Every time you look, you want to see it. Right now, there's bleak, there's death, there's uncertainty, there's fear, there's worry. And if you put that in front of you, that's what you will begin to experience in your life. But I want you to begin to protect the picture of your future. I want you to paint a picture of who you are becoming. I want you to paint a picture of the best you. I want you to paint a picture of how good it will be when things shift in this season. Once everything comes down, I want you to have a picture. Look, I want you to see this. So if I have a picture that I've set before me, then I can endure the seasons that I'm in. Now, share this with what I'm saying. Now, listen. So here's the thing. For the joy that was set before him, he endured. When you put a picture before you that is greater than your present trials, when you put a picture before you, see, the picture of your future has to be greater than the pain of your present moment. That's good. I want to say that again. Listen, the picture of your desired future has to be greater than the pain of the picture of your desired future has got to be greater than the pain of your present moment. If you allow the pain of your present moment to be greater than the picture of your future, you will not gravitate towards the future that you're expecting to manifest. And so a lot of people are worried right now, and they're looking at, what if I catch this thing? What if I catch the coronavirus? What if I'm infected? What if, and all this what if from a negative standpoint. I want you to begin to say that there's something different about you, that there's something different about your life, that there's something different. There's definitely something different about you, and that you are going to push through, and you're going to push through. But how you push through will be determined by the picture you put in front of you, because what you put in front of you determines what you focus on, and what you focus on determines what you gravitate towards. Listen to me. What you put in front of you, the picture that you put in front of you, determines what you focus on. Come on, I want you to share this with somebody. Listen, the picture you put in front of you, the picture that you put in front of you will determine what you focus on. And that becomes your focus, and that steals your focus, and it draws your energy, it pulls from it. So the picture now becomes what you focus on. And now when what you focus on determines what you desire. This season, you're not going to rely on the monetary system. No, it's falling. You're not going to rely on the government. They're trying to figure out themselves out to see how they can help. And you're not going to rely on families or people outside of the country. Everyone's going through the issue. So everybody is going to need some help. And so because everybody's asking for help, we have to put in front of us what we want to see manifest. So you're not going to be running to people for help. You're going to need to put in front of you what you want to see manifest. And I want to tell you something. In moments like this is your season to dream. This is your moment to start dreaming. Start dreaming again. Start dreaming with God. I want you to hear me. Start dreaming in the midst of crisis, in the midst of discouragement. I want you to start dreaming. Whenever the situation seems hopeless, whenever things seem so discouraging and seem so bleak, that's the moment that faith rises inside of you, because it will take faith to believe that something greater, something good is about to happen. And I'm telling you right now, something good, something greater is about to happen in your life. Something greater is about to happen, but it will only happen when you put a picture. What you see is going to be influenced by what you put in front of you. So I want you to paint a picture of your desired future. Protect your desired future. Protect the vision of where you're trying to go. Protect the vision of what your dreams look like. Protect it right now. You have all the time right now to start doing research on your dreams. Get back on your dream board. Get back and say, when this season is over, I'm going to be ready for my moment. Somebody's going to need what I have. Somebody's going to call on me. Somebody's going to need my solutions. I'm going to prepare. This is a time to prepare. Listen to me. This is a time to prepare. when Joseph was brought into prison, he used his gift in prison. Joseph in the Bible, he's a character that we might have heard of, and if you've not, Joseph was this young man that went into Egypt as a slave, and he was there as a slave, and he went into Potiphar's house, and Potiphar was a businessman, and Potiphar taught him how to do business, and he was put in prison. But while he was in prison, watch this, while he was in prison, he began to use his gift to interpret dreams, and was able to interpret dreams for a baker and a butler. And as he was interpreting dreams, he was perfecting his gift. And I'm telling you right now, in the midst of the hardship that you're going through, perfect your gift. This is a time to build on your gift. Don't waste your crisis. Don't waste your crisis. Don't waste this moment. Don't waste it in worry. Don't waste it over things you cannot change. The reality is there's nothing you can do to stop this coronavirus. There's nothing you can protect, you can mitigate the loss, but you cannot stop it because you didn't start it. You cannot stop it. It's spread beyond your influence. And so I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you, start dreaming again. Start putting in front of you the picture of your desired future, because what you put in front of you determines what you focus on. And what you focus on determines what you relentlessly pursue after. So right now, what you relentlessly pursue after is going to be influenced by what you focus. If you focus on the pain, if you focus on the fear, if you focus on the frustration, that will be what you are going after. That will be what you're pursuing after. The course that you've wanted to take, this is a moment to take that course. That book that you've been waiting to read, I want you to look behind me, all these books that I have. I've not finished reading all of them. I have read most of them, but this is the time to start reading my books. This is the time to start building. Listen, what you put inside of you determines and matters what grows inside of you. If you put fear and panic will grow inside of you. But this ain't the season to put fear and panic. This is a season to put in front of you. God called out to paint the picture of what you want to see. Write your vision. Make it plain so that he who sees it can run with it. This is a time to make your vision plain. This is a time to pursue. And this is a time to go after that which you have desired to go after. See, a lot of people are going to be binge watching. A lot of people are going to be panicking about resources. I don't have enough resources. Where is money going to come for food? And that's normal. But I want to say to you, when that comes down, when that stops, I want you to go back to the drawing board, and I want you to start dreaming again. I want you to start painting a picture. I want you to start painting the desired future. I want you to look at how it will look. Listen, because things are not always as we see them. Things are as we are. You see, we do not see things as they are, but we see them as we are. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you are thinking poverty, if you're thinking fear, if you're thinking lack, if you're thinking not enough, you will manifest not enough. You will manifest no lack, no provision. You will manifest fear. You will manifest all this negative stuff. But this ain't the time to be thinking about that. You need to put that aside, and you need to say, it cannot steal my joy. It cannot steal my peace. It cannot steal. I still got a place to go. I still got a future. And I want to say, protect the picture of your future. Protect what you're seeing. Don't allow yourself to see death. Don't allow yourself. You see, when I don't control what I see, when I don't control what is in front of me, I begin to create doubt and unbelief. And when I create doubt and unbelief, I begin to manifest the doubt and unbelief. And I'm telling you, I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me clearly, that this is your season. This is your season to manifest your dreams. This is your season to create the life that you've desired. This is the moment to pursue the things that you've wanted to pursue. There has never been a better moment. Listen, Walt Disney started Disney World in the time of recession. At the peak of recession, he started Walt Disney. And I'm telling you right now, you are not an exception. There is something that you've been incubating. There is something that you have been preparing. There is something that you have been carrying. And now life has given you opportunity to birth it. Life has given you a moment to go in and to be in closed chambers. There's a proverb that says that through desire, a man man having separated himself seeketh and intermeddled with wisdom. This is your moment to seek wisdom for your dream, to seek wisdom for your purpose, to seek wisdom for what will happen is that you'll be shifted and you'll be moved out of focus. And when you're moved out of focus, you start reacting instead of responding. And you are not going to react because reaction is the lowest level of awareness. I want to bring you to the place where you come into this place of awareness that you have control because you have ability to navigate through desire. This ain't the time to say, oh, well, I guess that's the end of my life. I guess that's the end of my dreams. I guess that now I just have to survive. No, you were not born to survive. You were born to thrive. In moments like this, you are born to thrive. I'm telling you, in this crisis, somebody's going to emerge a millionaire. Somebody's going to emerge a billionaire. Right now, people are thinking of creative ways that they're going to make money out of this situation. And you are not different. You have the creative capacity. And I want you to post this. Greatness is birthed in mundane. Greatness is birthed in the mundane. If I understand how to navigate effectively the mundane, success is all about discipline. That's all success is. If I consistently do something consistently over time, I will manifest the dream that I have. I will manifest the things that I've desired to manifest. So I want you to see that success is all about consistency. When a crisis happens, the first thing that will happen is that you'll be shifted and you'll be moved out of focus. And when you're moved out of focus, you start reacting instead of responding. And you are not going to react because reaction is the lowest level of awareness. I want to bring you to the place where you come into this place of awareness that you have control because you have ability to navigate through desire. This ain't the time to say, oh, well, I guess that's the end of my life. I guess that's the end of my dreams. I guess that now I just have to survive. No, you were not born to survive. You were born to thrive. In moments like this, you are born to thrive. I'm telling you, in this crisis, somebody's going to emerge a millionaire. Somebody's going to emerge a billionaire. Right now, people are thinking of creative ways that they're going to make money out of this situation. And you are not different. You have the creative capacity because you are very intelligent. You have been built. There's no creature on earth that has an ability like human beings to use their mind to create something they've been promised. And I'm telling you, you have to, because when crisis happens, if you focus on the crisis, you will drown in the crisis. But if you focus on the shores, if you focus on the picture, when somebody is drowning, they don't focus on the water around them. They try to find the place where they need to anchor their hands, where they need to somebody to throw something at them on the a life-saving vest or something, or a boat that they can hold on. And right now, you need to put in front of you the future you desire. The future is greater for you. And I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me. Your future is greater than your present. Listen, until the desire of your future becomes greater than the pain of your present moment, you will continue to stay frustrated. But I want to stir you up. Come on, somebody, share this with somebody. I want to stir you up right now. I want to stir you up. I want to go back to the books, go back to your journal, start journaling, start putting down some dreams, start writing some things, start painting a picture of what you want to become. If you've been wanting to write a book, this is a moment to write a book. And if that's you and you want to write a book, I'm here to help you. I want to help you birth your dreams. So this is a moment to start doing the time there. This is a moment to start practicing. Number 5 thing, that's what I want to bring you to, is I was looking at this quote, and this quote has inspired me. And it says, success is nothing more than a few simple discipline practiced every day. Oh my goodness. Success is nothing than a few simple discipline. What if I told you that the future you desire, you've been thinking that it will take big things to manifest your future, that it will take great things to manifest your future? No. What if I told you that it is the small things that if you practice those small things, it will manifest big things for you? I'm telling you right now that there is some big things about to happen, but you have to start practicing. This is the time for you to practice. Practice your speech. Practice practice your skill, practice your trade, practice, work with it. This is a time to practice. This ain't the time to sit and wait for things to happen. No, there's a time to practice. Start practicing the simple discipline. Start practicing and growing yourself. Start grooming yourself. Start growing. You see, in a crisis, growth, the thing I want you to know is that change is inevitable. Change will happen whether we like it or not. But growth is optional. And in moments like this, what we need to do is that we need to grow. We need to grow. And how do we grow? We need to practice the disciplines. You need to practice what you've been putting on hold. You need to practice what you've been wanting to read and study, the things you've been trying. This is the moment life has offered you a correction measure. Life has created a self-correction mechanism for you to be able to sit down and enjoy this. So listen, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practice every day. What are you practicing every day? I want to challenge you in this season that you're in. Every time you wake up, practice your affirmation. Practice speaking what you are, not what you're not. Practice what you are supposed to be. Start practicing. Start speaking what you're supposed to be. Don't allow fear to come in. Don't allow panic to come in. Start practicing. Start saying, I am great. Start saying, I was born for this moment. Start saying, I have what it takes. You need to start practicing the affirmation. Start speaking to yourself. Start practicing what it will look like when you step into the arenas that you've been preparing for. Start practicing what it looks like when you start to speak to people and thousands have to listen to you, because now the playing field has been leveled and you can just click the live button and you can go live. Start practicing. This is a moment behind closed doors. This is the time to begin to go back to the drawing board and begin to make mistakes. This is the time to call somebody and say, I need you to listen to me as I prepare my first outline, as I prepare my first speech. You are not going to be good just by chance. You're going to be good because you practice. And I want you to understand, practice doesn't make perfect. A lot of people say practice makes perfect, but I want you to understand that practice makes permanent. Practice is going to allow you to be able to have the skill you need when the right moment emerges. And so success is nothing more than a few disciplines practice every day. So in short, I gotta go, but I want to finish and say a few things to you. If you don't want to waste your crisis, this is a moment to be growing. This is a moment to be growing. Forget everything that's going on. This is the moment to be growing. This is a time for you to be rising as you're growing. Grow yourself, grow your mind, grow your thinking, grow your ability. Now, let me tell you what I'm doing for you. At the end of this broadcast, I will put this book. I will make this book available online for those who want to. This is From Dreaming to Becoming 10 Essential Steps for Living the Life of Your Dreams. This book is going to be available for you, and I'm making it $3.99. And the only reason I'm doing this is so that you can have skin in the game and in your dreams. So at the end of this broadcast, investment to you, you're saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because I want to stop your dreams. Because this is a moment that I stop your dreams. This is a moment that I help you dream. This is a moment that I stir you up. I tell you, no. You're not going to focus on what's going to happen. You're not going to focus on the negative. You're going to focus on the picture of your desired future. So we've talked about 5 things, and I'm going to recap those 5 things and I'll be out of your way. We've talked about managing our crisis effectively, making sure that we don't waste our crisis. And number 1, we say that crisis is a part of life. And so we have to know that crisis comes and crisis goes. These two shall pass. So just understand these two is going to pass. Number 2, you don't have control of this. Stop trying to control it. You don't have what it takes to control it. You didn't start it. You can't do it. And I need you to understand, all you can do is mitigate it and are not allowed to affect you. And we've talked about the question to ask is not why is this happening? But the question is, what must I do? And I've given you the tools for what you need to do so that you can navigate through this crisis, so you don't waste your crisis. Don't go through this season and all you can remember was just how bad it was. Go through this season, and when you come out of here, say, that's when I started my business. That's when I started my career. That's when I got, just put in front of you what you want to see happen. And so we've said 5 things that are going to help us manage our crisis. Number 1, we're going to have to take precautions. Do everything you can to protect yourself. Do everything to take precaution. Wash your hands. Take vitamins. Take probiotics. Do everything you can. Take hot fluids. Make sure that you are increasing your vitamin intake and then boosting your immune system. That's precaution. Number 2 thing we talked about is that you're going to have a positive attitude. Listen to me. You're going to have a positive attitude. Don't buy into what is happening. Yes, it's happening. We cannot ignore it. We cannot bury our head in the sand, but we cannot allow it to descend from our minds into our hearts, because if it gets into our hearts, we will manifest it as our natural reality, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So as you speak, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So life will begin to manifest. So number 1, precautions. Number 2, maintaining a positive attitude. Number 3, we've talked about preparation. This is a time to prepare. Go ahead and prepare. Go ahead and prepare. This is a time for you to prepare. Start preparing. Don't wait for things to happen. Make it happen. This is a time to grow. This is a time to grow yourself, because growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be different. Listen to me. Your personal growth today is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be different. We've talked about number 4. You got to do what? You got to protect the picture of your future. You have to protect that picture. Create a picture, an image of what you want to be and who you want to be. And number 5 things, as I finish, you have to practice, 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 practice. And so I want to encourage you, because there's this quote that I was looking at by Charlie Munger, and I wanted to share this quote with you. It says, "Those who keep learning will keep rising in life." In the season that we are in, I want you to hear me. Those who keep learning will keep rising. And if you want to advance in this season, you got to know that the only way out of this season, one of the major ways to navigate through the crisis that we're in, is that you got to keep growing. So don't waste your crisis. There you have it. I just wanted to come in and share with you. Don't waste your crowd of it. Use it and be the best you can be. I will see you at the top. Remember that you can be more. You can go farther. You can reach higher than you ever thought possible. Again, I want to say that you can be more. You can go farther, and you can reach higher than you ever thought possible. And with that, I want to ask you to do me a favor. Please help me share this with someone. I want you to know that this is the best time to dream. This is the moment you've been waiting to dream. This is the hour you've been waiting for. If you wanted a sign, I gave you a sign today. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Don't allow yourself to ride the waves of this crisis and come out with nothing to show for. This is a time to go through this. You are going through. You're not camping here. You're not staying here. You're going through. And when you come out, you're going to be at the top. And I'll see you at the top. Help me share this. I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you. Let me know. Hit me up. Send me a direct message. Follow me on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, at Phinehas K. Follow me on Instagram.